good Lord, that's slow and turn your nose up at it. But you got to remember, guys, just a few years ago, 10 frames a second was about the max we have on these cameras. So 7 frames a second is not horrible for a 61 megapixel sensor. We're just really spoiled today and age to have, 20 to 40 frames a second on these cameras we're shooting anymore. And yes, 15 to 20 frames a second on this camera would be nice, but 7 frames a second, uncompressed raw 61 megapixels is still pretty good. So really, at those higher frame rates, I'd use mechanical. Now, there's two other reasons to use mechanical also, and this is electronic on this camera. And the first one is about shutter sounds. In electronic, you have no shutter sound on this thing. It's just completely silent. And that's one of the things about the R5 I didn't like, because when I was completely silent, I need that auditory clicking noise to know that I'm taking pictures. That's just me. And that's why with the R5, I use first curtain 12 frames a second instead of using the 20 frames a second. With the R7, I was shooting 30. With the R6 Mark II, and I tested, I was shooting 40 because I had a sound. Of course, the Z9, 20 frames a second. But I have an auditory sound that I can hear that I'm taking pictures. And the mechanical shutter on this guy is not very loud. It's actually really, really quiet. It's just about almost the same, but a little louder than even the electronic shutter of the R7 I have above me and the Z9 I have right here. And the third thing on this camera, why I use mechanical over electronic, is the EVF lag and stutter after taking a picture in the blackout. So in electronic, when you get this shutter, you get a blackout. It's a pretty significant blackout, and you have this stuttering lag as you hold the shutter down. So tracking something through the air or even on the ground when you're hitting it, it's hard to keep track on it because you're trying to move, but you're not seeing it through the viewfinder. And that's pretty bad. In mechanical, you still get the blackout, you still get a stutter, but it's a lot less exaggerated as an electronic. I've got to use an electronic. It would be very hard to track something in electronic. Mechanical is still difficult, but not as bad as electronic. So with those things, with the frame rate, the sound, and the lag, mechanical shutter's all I use on this one. I did test electronic more and more, but I did not like electronic shutter on this camera. Mechanical is the way to go on this camera, for wildlife, that is. So now let's talk about the autofocus system on this thing, which is the biggest thing, that reason why I wanted to look at Sony cameras, so I can speak to the autofocus and understand the autofocus and see how good or how bad it is. I had 3 different events that I shot, 3 different things that I shot while I was using this camera. The first one I had that I did was I found some wax things like in the first hour or two, and I was using this camera and had a phenomenal experience with them. And that's when I was using the autofocus area wide, not the tracking autofocus wide. So the second outing I had was I went down to Sioux for a couple of days to get birds and flights, and we don't have seagulls and ducks and things like that flying around. And the third one I had was when I put the tracking wide on. I went down for a couple of days, went out a couple different days out with the local ducks and stuff on the pond, do test out distance of autofocus and how quick the autofocus work with the tracking wide and the tracking narrow boxes. So we're going to talk about all this in reverse order. We're going to go to the ducks on the pond first, and we'll go to the seagulls, then to the wax wings, and I'll tell you what, it'll make sense as we talk this, why I'm going to do it this way. So when I went to the ducks, I had the tracking wide on, so I had what the best setup is for tracking birds and birds and being sticky. So when I went out to these ducks to hit them, right off the bat, if a duck was within intermediate range to close to me, 50, 40 yards or so out from me to right next to me, the eye tracking, body tracking just hit instantly. The duck was really close, within 5-10 yards of me, and it didn't hesitate, jumped right to that eye almost every time on these mallards or anything else I shot. Just jumped right to it. If a bird was more than 40 yards out, intermediate to farther, and I could still see the frame pretty well, the autofocus would search, be really looking for that bird. And when it would hit it, it would give you a little green box, not just one big box. So when that autofocus locks on, from what I can tell, it gives you a box, either at the eye, the head, or usually it's around the whole body. Usually it doesn't just head, it does like the eye and the whole subject. Sometimes when I saw 2 or 3 ducks, they give a box right in all 3 of them, which is interesting. But at distance, it would always hunt. It very seldom would hunt, and sometimes it would hunt, and they would finally find the bird and get the locking, tracking symbol on top of it. But at distance, this camera had struggles at distance finding those birds on the water, that is. I had some even on the snow or the ground, and it still struggled. And so that was my experience there with the autofocus here, was using the tracking wide. Intermediate distances, real snappy, real responsive, stay on it, grab it, not a problem. And when I was at intermediate to longer, it would hunt a little bit more. It would look for the duck, or the duck could be here, it would be pixelating around. Got video here, you'll see of it too. So that was that experience with autofocus. I really liked it, but saw some issues with it. So the next one we talk about is when I went to Seward. So when I got down to Seward, there's a cannery here that offloads fish from the boats, and it dumps it, cleans the dock off, and it knocks some stuff off in the water, and there's always a lot of seagulls and ducks, and sometimes eagles and otters and harbor seals. So got down to the beach, down below this little cannery thing, and got set up on the beach, focusing out there. The angle of that was not quite midday sun, close to it, and most things were back where I was at, but I couldn't get farther out that way to get things, lit to their face. When I sat down there, for a second, right out there, sea otter pops up fairly close to me in front of me, about 20, 30 yards in front of me. Hit the camera, snapped right on him. Either snapped the head, snapped the butt.
Is that the end of the story? Oh no. Is there still more of the story or not? Wait, did he just leave? Okay. That story was really interesting. It didn't even make me rage when I even died. When I died, I didn't even rage when I was hearing his story. Yeah, I was so connected to his stories, but Whoa, I was so connected to this guy's stories. When I died, I didn't even rage. I was so connected.
What are you talking about?
I was so connected. Like, I was literally too connected to the stories than to the game. So I actually listened to his stories more than the game. Hey, let's go. Wow. Yep. Ooh. Okay. A pixel. Okay. That was actually interesting